Hi, hello, welcome to the Horror Shelf. My name is Renata, and today I want to tell you all of my tips on how to start reading more books, because I used to read 12 books a year, one book every month, and that was the most I could do, which is absolutely fine, but I wanted to read more because I love books. That's why you're also probably here. I was able to double the amount of books that I read twice. So last year I read more than 30 books instead of my 12 a year, which I'm very proud of, and I would love to tell you how I did that, even though some of my techniques are a little bit unhinged, but I will save those for last. Let's just get started. First of all, I want to give a little disclaimer that it doesn't matter how many books you read in a year. Even if you only read half a book, that's perfectly fine. Be proud of yourself, at least you're reading, especially in this digital age where it's so easy to just stay on your phone, keep scrolling, watch a series, watch YouTube videos. It is hard to get yourself to read books, so you should be proud. It doesn't matter how many books you read, right? So that's my little disclaimer. Let's just get into how I tricked myself into reading more. The first thing I always do, and I also am doing right now, is that I make a little reading streak for myself. I want to read something every day. It doesn't matter, even if it's just one page, I'm gonna count it towards my reading streak, but I want to read in a book at least once every day. And right now I have a streak going for 5 days, so that's awesome. I make it a little game for myself. If it is a streak, I am more tempted to actually read and to keep reading every day. Because if I don't, my streak ends, and I don't want my streak to end. Especially if you have a lot of days going strong. You don't want to break your streak, right? So for me that really helps. And you can do this in whatever shape, way or form works for you. Personally, I have a habit tracker app on my phone. It doesn't matter which app as well. Just type in habit tracker in the app store and just use whatever apps suit you best, as long as you're tracking it. You can also do it like on your calendar or on your phone or in your physical calendar, or make a little fun bingo paper thingy, cross off every day if you read something, you know, make it fun, make it a little game. It really works for me. I'm just tricking myself into wanting to keep the streak going. And then another thing that I do is I set timers for 30 minutes, and as long as the timer is going, I have to read. I can't do anything else. I can't look on my phone. I put on a timer, put my phone away, and just start reading for those 30 minutes, or however long you want the timer to be. If you only have 10 minutes to spare in your day, put a timer for 10 minutes. It's fine, it doesn't matter. There are no rules for how long you should be reading, right? But a timer really forces me to read as well. And the funny thing is, usually while you're reading, once the timer goes off, you are already in the story and you don't want to stop reading. So you keep on reading, and then you get more reading hours in your day as well. So that's a little trick for you that you also can combine with the reading streak. Why not? And then another tip for you that I have is not sponsored at all. I have like 60 followers. Nobody is sponsoring me. I'm very happy that you're here actually watching this video right now. Yeah, and it's also like, I don't want to promote buying stuff or whatever, but this one really helped me out, and that is an e-reader. You can get an e-reader secondhand. It also doesn't really matter which one you get. They all work the same. It's perfectly fine. I asked for an e-reader for my birthday last year. It really helped me read so much more. It's fantastic. First of all, it's small. It's compact. I can put this thing in my purse and it fits. And I can just take it with me wherever I go. I love that. And that way, if I commute to work with public transport, or I'm at my lunch break at work, I can just read. And yes, I know that I can bring a physical book with me, but sometimes I'm reading a big book, like this one. This is a big boy. I don't want to be bringing this in my purse. I can't even put this in my purse, but like in my work bag. It's big, it's heavy, it's annoying to carry around. So I can read the same book on my e-reader, and it doesn't weigh anything, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I can take it everywhere. It's amazing. And the thing is also, I like to read in public transport, but often when I'm reading a physical book, I get nauseous. I get like road sickness. With my e-reader, I don't have that problem. I don't know what kind of screens they put in here, but it doesn't strain my eyes and my brain, and I can just read on public transport without getting nauseous. Maybe that works for other people too. I don't know. I really love my e-reader. Something I also do is I put the books that I haven't read yet that are on my bookshelf on my e-reader as well, so I can read those wherever I am. One thing I also do is I read multiple books at the same time on my e-reader, so I will have one book that's a physical copy that I'm reading, and at the same time I'm reading a different book on my e-reader, and that way I'm working on 2 books. sometimes 3. It just goes faster that way. And I can also pick whatever book I'm in the mood for reading that day because I'm reading multiple at the same time. And then one thing you can also do is listen to audiobooks. I think that counts as reading. You're listening to a book. What does it matter? And audiobooks are great if you're doing chores or, you're in your car or you're cooking, whatever. You can put it on just like a podcast and just listen to a book. It also counts toward reading. I believe with the Spotify Premium, each month you get 10 audiobook hours that you can just use to listen whatever book you want. So that's a great tip as well. If you have Spotify, try it out. And then I have a tip that is a little bit unhinged. All the books on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet, I put them on my shelf the wrong way around. So I put them in backwards. So let's just say I'm gonna grab the same book. Normally your book would be in the shelf like this. I put them in the shelf like this. And it's incredibly ugly. And I really hate how it looks. But that motivates me to read the books on my shelf. Because then I get to turn them around and put them in the shelf the right way. And it really helps me to read more because I really want to put my books in my bookshelf the correct way. And it's also so satisfying once you finish a book that you can put it on your shelf and your shelf looks a bit nicer instead of all the covers the wrong way around. So that's a little bit unhinged, but it really works for me. And another unhinged thing I do is that I keep a stack of shame. Yes, a stack of shame. It's all the books that I started reading but haven't finished yet. I just put them together on a stack somewhere really visible in my room where I see them every day. And it's the stack of shame. And because I really have to finish those books and they are annoying me. They are in my eyesight all the time. And it makes me want to read them because then I can get rid of the stack. Yeah, do you want to see my current stack of shame? I know you do. This is my current stack of shame. Let's just go through which books are on here really quickly. The first one is The Great and Secret Show by Clive Barker, which I have used as a prop in this video 3 times already, but I am actually reading this one right now. It's on my stack of shame. And then I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, Manhunt by Gretchen Falker Martin, and I have Skin by Mo Hader. That's my current stack of shame, and it works great because I'm working in all of these books at the same time right now, just so I can get rid of the stack. I'm literally manipulating myself into reading more by just doing annoying things. Maybe these tips aren't that ethical, but I don't know, they work for me. I also don't know what that says about me. And then I have some more quick tips that also help me read more. One thing that I also previously touched upon before is read multiple books at the same time. Why limit yourself to one book? You can read multiple books at the same time. Now only do this if you can do that, because I know some people, they forget what the story is about or it's annoying to them to be reading multiple books at the same time. But if you can, just pick up multiple books at the same time, then you can read whatever you're in the mood for and you'll finish multiple books at the same time. It's great. One thing that also really helps is to lower your expectations for how many pages you should read. It doesn't matter how many pages you read, even if it's only 1 page in a day. That's still progress in your book. It still counts. You don't have to tell yourself like, oh, I should read 30 pages every day. No, you don't. You can read how many pages you want to read that day and how long you want to read. It doesn't matter. Lower your expectations. It will make your life much easier. Just don't be that hard on yourself. It's really not necessary. It's just reading. It's not that deep. With that, I also want to say that stop romanticizing perfect reading vibes. It doesn't need to be raining. You don't have to have a cup of tea. You don't have to be snuggled up in your bed. You can also read when you're waiting at the dentist office. You can also read when you're waiting for the train. It doesn't matter. And I know it's great to have the perfect reading conditions for your perfect book. It's awesome. I love it too. I love it a lot, but you can read anywhere. So read anywhere, Don't make it this big thing in your head. It doesn't have to be a big thing. And with that also being said, read whatever you want to read. If everyone on the internet is saying that you should read dark romance and you want to read a thriller, go read that thriller. Don't read the dark romance if you don't want to. it's your life. You can read whatever you want. And then I want to end this video with some tips for if you are in a reading slump, because I am a big reading slump victim as well. And here are some strategies that I use to get out of it. I was in a reading slump actually in like November and December. I'm kind of out of it now, so I want to share with you how I got out of it. So the first thing I did is pick a book that I have already read and that I absolutely loved. And then it has to be a short book, and it has to be a light and easy book. And preferably even by your favorite author. Whatever, just make sure it's a book that you know you're gonna enjoy and that's not so heavy on the brain. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to use every brain cell that you have to understand what you're reading. Just pick an easy book. It always really helps me to get out of my reading slump. First, I just wallow in my reading slump a little bit, but then yeah, I pick something that I know I'm gonna love and that is easy on the brain. So that got me out of my reading slump actually. Those are all the tips for how I doubled the amount of books that I read in a year. Some are practical and some are like psychological warfare on myself, but they do work. If you have any other tips that work for you that may be slightly unhinged or not, leave them down in the comments. We can all help each other. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.